Hey, my name is Kara. I'm an ultrasound tech, and let's talk today about why your due date with your ultrasound is going to be about 2 weeks ahead from when your conception date was. So, the funny thing about pregnancy is the fact that we do count the dates that are leading up to your point of conception, so your ovulation date, in with your whole pregnancy. So, in those 2 weeks leading up to your ovulation, or like 10 to 14 days, usually women do ovulate 10 to 14 days after the first day of their last period. We are going to be counting that day from the last period all the way up until you actually ovulate. So those 10 to 14 days are going to be taken into account with your total amount of pregnancy time, basically. So that's why when you are thinking about it in terms of like conception, it can be super confusing. Because, for example, let's say the first day of your last period was January 1st, and you conceived a baby, as in your conception date was January 14th, we are actually going to count January 1st to January 14th as the first 2 weeks of your pregnancy, even though at that time you were not pregnant, because obviously you had not had intercourse, the egg had not been fertilized, etc. But that's just how we do things when we are speaking in terms of your pregnancy as well as dating your pregnancy via ultrasound. It would obviously be 2 weeks less than that if you are looking at from the date of when you actually conceived baby. But overall, I know it's super confusing, but we are always going to be going off of your approximate LMP date, so your last menstrual period date, to be booking your ultrasound in, and not your conception date. So again, let's say January 1st was your LMP date and you did conceive on January 14th. We are not going to want to see you for your ultrasound until 7 to 10 weeks after your LMP, not 7 to 10 weeks after when you actually conceived, because again, we do count those days after your last menstrual period up until the time you conceived with your whole pregnancy. So, anywho, hopefully that did clear a little bit up here in terms of why things might not be matching up when you're looking at your estimated due date via your ultrasound versus what your estimated due date would be if you were counting day one of conception as your first day of pregnancy. And as always, if you guys do have any other questions, please go ahead and leave them in the comments. And I also made a new group for information, as well as just a group for us to be able to chat freely. You can find the link in my bio for both current moms and expecting moms. So definitely go ahead and check that out. We'd love to see you guys there.